Great evening, great evening, great evening, great evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know that you can hear me loudly and clear tonight. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let me make a couple of checks real quick and make sure that we are sharing on all platforms here. We're excited to be here with you tonight. Happy Monday. Hope that you've had a wonderful and productive day so far. Come on in the room, take a seat with us tonight. Welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. I am the visionary and host, Monet Horton. Again, I'm honored to be able to connect with you tonight. Please take a moment to click and share. And I know you're probably looking for our co-host, Lady Tiera Parker, who's not feeling too well tonight, but send her some love and prayers. All of those things we're sending out to her tonight. Um, but definitely, we want to let you know that we are here for you. We're here to support, and she sends her love as well tonight. But we want to take a moment to again welcome you into Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. This is where we flow, and it's not a show, but it's a flow. And when we say that we flow, we fearlessly level up, overcome. And what we do, y'all, all we do is win here. So we want you to come on in the room. Let us know that you are out there and that you're tuning in tonight. We believe here that sharing is caring because you never know what someone may be facing, dealing with. Where a nugget may be dropped, a word, a smile, a gesture, anything that can literally help to change someone's life in a positive way. So we want to take this moment and pause for the cause and make sure you take the time to click and share. Again, I pray that your day has been well. I pray that your day has been productive. Tonight, I said that we are definitely going to show up. Just got off the road and had some time to unplug. How many know that unplugging and unplugging for real is healthy? It's what I call it's a part of self-care, and is definitely a part of life that I am getting used to truly embracing. Because when you go, when you move, when you're pouring into others so much, it's very important for you to take that time out for yourself as well. And so sometimes we can say with our mouths that we are unplugging, but you find yourself when you're away answering the phone, answering the call of duty, whatever it is, sending an email. Um, but I can truly say that I unplugged and it felt so good. Now it's time to catch up and time to keep it moving. But I want to take a moment again to welcome you all in. I'm looking over at our platforms and want to see who has joined us tonight. Let us know that you are out there. Um, and we want to welcome you all into the conversation tonight. Y'all, we have a super amazing guest tonight who's going to join us shortly. Thank you all for tuning in. Even those who will listen to the replay, I really am serious when I say that what we the assignment that we have here at Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves is one that we take don't take lightly. And I know for me, I definitely don't take it lightly because I'm actually okay with being behind the scenes, but this here takes me and puts me, out there, right? This is not behind the scene work. But you're at the forefront, and so the words that I say what's laid upon my heart, or what our guests, the guests that come to pour into, the guests that comes to share. We're very mindful and strategic, and even the more becoming even more strategic as we plan and position, and the God positions this platform as we move forward. And so I really want to take that time to let you know that when we show up here, sometimes it's a press, but we never know how, while we're pressing. We're pressing in because there's someone else who's going to show up on the other side of that screen or listen to that replay and get what they need exactly when they need it. And saying all that to say, in your life right now, that might be a press, a tug, pull for you to show up or do something that you've never done before. And I want to encourage you tonight to do it. Answer the call. Say that thing that you are scared and afraid of saying. Now is that time to show up in a different way. Now is that time to make a move in a different way than what you've done in the past. And I want to encourage you to do that because there's somebody on the other side that you might not know what they stand in the need of. And you might be saying in your own mind that, wait a minute, I'm the one in need of something right now. But typically, from experience, those times that you are the one that you feel is in need, that's the time that you have to show up even the more. And so I want to invite you all in. We have a super amazing guest who's getting ready to come in the room tonight. We have the pleasure of having a special guest lead herself, Miss Ronda Brunson. She is the founder of Tata Tuesdays. And as she's going to come on briefly, I want to share her bio tonight before we bring her in the room. Rhonda turned her personal battle into a mission to empower and uplift others. On March the 10th, 2023, just one day after her double mastectomy, Rhonda founded Tata Tuesdays and Breast Friends Unite, creating a haven for women navigating the challenges of breast cancer. A proud Project Lead graduate patient advocate and member of a pharma advisory board, Rhonda continues to bridge the gap between patients and progress. She is the invent her behind Boobs and Bingo, a revolutionary social awareness experience, and has been featured in multiple newspapers and magazines, sharing her story of faith and fight. Known as the Credit Queen for her financial expertise, Rhonda has now dedicated her life to equipping women to thrive physically, emotionally, as well as spiritually. Above all, she is a child of God, walking boldly in purpose, proof that healing and hope coexist. Without further ado, tonight we want to welcome Miss Rhonda to the stage tonight. Now, first, um, before she comes on, I want to let you all know that she wears multiple hats, and she's going to share um much about that tonight. But we are honored to have her, as I know that her day has been full, but she's here to share with us tonight, looking wonderful and fabulous. So without further ado, we just shared your bio. Welcome, Rhonda. I think you're on mute, but welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your patience.
You are so welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We know that you've had a full day and appreciate you taking time to come out with us. I'm Monet, the visionary host of Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves, and our co-host, Lady Tiera. She sends her love and says she's so sorry she couldn't be on tonight, not feeling well. But we wanted to invite you on. We heard about your story and the movement that you have and all the awesome things that you're doing. And we wanted to welcome you on, invite you on tonight to share with our audience. After reading your story, we said the healing path from patient to purpose is the conversation that we'll have tonight. But really, this is a platform where we have our guests to come and share the story behind the glory. People see you out there today or so many different places doing so many things, but they don't really know the backdrop. And so, without further ado, and all the things that come with it, right? So, we want to give you an opportunity to take some time to share, and we will just organically converse and through this power move conversation. So again, welcome.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I'm Ronda Brunson. I'm the lead her of Tata Tuesdays. I began my nonprofit accidentally the day after my double mastectomy. I think that when you start a business, it's supposed to be solving a problem. And the
Mhm.
problem I was having, especially in the breast cancer space, was I didn't know anything about it. Everything I knew about breast cancer was negative, the end, basically. And so initially, because I was diagnosed at stage 0, I'm thinking, okay, I'll just have a little lumpectomy and keep it moving. But I learned quickly that breast cancer doesn't operate that way. And I didn't know what to expect, even if that was the outcome. I didn't know what a lumpectomy looked like. I didn't know what a double mastectomy looked like. So the page initially started the day after my double mastectomy as a vlog so that women who would come after me would know what to expect. You see a lot, but then it skips days. So, like, let's say that someone was talking about their breast cancer journey, and this is day 1, and the next time you see him, it's like week 6. No, what happened? I need to know. I need to know what's going on these other
Yeah.
days. So that was initially why I started it. Um, just by chance, I happened to be a little bit popular in Baltimore. I was already branded as the credit queen, preaching and teaching the credit gospel to all who listen. And that started back in 2008.
Mhm.
So when I said I had breast cancer, all of a sudden, all of these women from everywhere started saying, me too, me too, me too, me
Mhm.
too. And so I had branded the page as Tata Tuesdays. It was a Tuesday. We was going to be talking about some boobs. And so on Tuesdays, I would allow women to come on and talk about their stories of discovery. And I believe that that was just a little bit of advocacy to
Yeah.
let women not so much get boxed into what breast cancer looks like. Everyone has an impression of it. I'm going to feel a lump. Sometimes you don't get a lump. Sometimes you lactate after menopause. Sometimes you have a hot
Mhm.
breast. Sometimes your nipples invert. Sometimes all the skin in your breast area dimples. Sometimes you have discharge from your breast. Like sometimes it's not your breast at all. Sometimes it's your underarm. Your underarm is swollen. Your underarm is hot. You have something going on with your neck. Like it could be anything. And so with these stories of discovery, it made women become more self-aware. And now we're
Mhm.
not going to be skipping mammograms because for some people, if it is not for a mammogram, you would never know that you have breast cancer. There are some people who have never missed a mammogram, and then when they go for one, find out they're stage 4. So what we learned about breast
Mhm.
cancer is that it has no pics. It does exactly whatever it wants to do. And here in this space, what this community, the sisterhood that and I won't say I'm doing it because it's God's work. So the sisterhood
Yeah.
that God told me to start, um, it really is about connecting, creating the sisterhood, um, establishing the social experience, and then learning the
Mhm.
science. It's important to me to have sophisticated breast cancer patients that can look their doctors in the eye and say, yeah, no, how come you didn't give this to my breast friend? How come this happened? What we learn, just the way that life is, everyone in different social atmospheres
Yeah.
or social spheres experiences different things. So all of my treatment was in Miami. All of my treatment is still in Miami because I have not developed a trust yet with Maryland doctors.
Wow. Yeah.
You're treated from city to city, state to state. Um, coast to coast can range. So with Tata Tuesdays, we also have a subgroup called Breast
Mm,
Friends Unite. And that is the pairing of breast friends. So if you tell me that you are stage 3 HER2 positive, I can find someone with a similar diagnosis that was on the similar journey as yours and put you with that person or multiple people. You may say, I don't want to get a double mastectomy. I'm going to do a single. I'm going to let you talk to some ladies that did a single so they can tell you how they feel about it after. Because some people aren't satisfied with that.
yeah,
I'm gonna let you talk to a woman that decided to remain flat that now wants to get reconstruction because ultimately she's not satisfied with that. Just so that you always know what your options are and so that
yeah.
you can challenge your doctors with the science.
Wow. Wow. So you just said a mouthful there, right? And so you said, I just want to kind of go back a little bit, that you started this page the day after you had your own
Mhm.
mastectomy. And so while you're going through, you're creating this community for others to come, this for sisters to share. What really gave you that extra, carriage, to just go right into it, like the day after yours? I know you said there was a need immediately, but how did you really navigate that space while you two were going through yourself?
I think work is your best distraction. You ever go through a real good breakup, like a bad breakup, and you can make $1 million
Mm,
with a bad breakup because you're
hmm.
so determined just to like escape your situation in a positive way. So
Yeah,
that's basically what happened. I was like, well, I can't fix this, but I can talk about it.
yeah.
I'm always a person that likes to tell my story first. I'm an open book. I hear some things about myself sometimes. I'm like, really, that was me? No,
Mhm.
I like to tell my story first. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer on November the 10th, 2022. I
Okay.
announced it to Facebook and Instagram on November the 11th. What we holding secrets
Hmm.
for? What is there to hide?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
now we're going to go through the process and we're going to keep talking about it, and mostly because it's therapeutic for me.
Absolutely.
But then also it was a need. It was almost like a fire. I can't really describe it. If you've ever been activated, if God has ever told you to do something
Mm,
and you already know like the option, for me, my mortality is connected to my yes. If I want to live, then I will continue to say yes. If this is the journey, if this is the journey that God wants me to be on, and I tell people all the time, only thing I want to do is work for God and get it right. That's it. I just want to work for Him and get it right, whatever that looks like. So if that means He wants me to start 17 programs in a year back to back, I'm going to do it. And then people be like, "How did you do it?" God. Why did it come out so good? He did it. It's not mine. This is not my baby. This is not anything that I ever saw myself doing. I have no experience in fundraising. I have very little experience in running a nonprofit. But look what God did. So it's not me. When people ask me questions like this, I really don't know because it's not mine. I only work for God. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I love it. I love it because Um, I mean that's when I do the same thing. When he gives you an instruction, your yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to know that you've been called to it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
you have to do it, and you're charged to do it. But there's some people watching, someone watching tonight, someone who'll see the replay, and they're like, look, how did you get to that being able to move quickly, right? Move so quickly in your yes, and let me be obedient and answering the call, whether it's the 17 programs or the one or whatever it is. I hear you loud and clearly, but how did you get there? I'm sure you didn't that first time he asked you to do something didn't move, but what was that trajectory or that process by which you said, you know what, enough is enough? Did you have an aha moment that got you to that, or have you been?
No, I really don't even know how to answer because it was so subconscious. I didn't even know that I was in a
Mm,
yes atmosphere. I
mm,
was sharing for me. And then when people well, let me back up. I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 0. Then that was in November. I did not have any surgeries until March of 2023. Okay, December, January, February, March, 4 months. My
mm,
cancer, when I woke up after my surgery, was stage 3.
mm.
Hold on one second. I need to tell my mom. Can you hear my mom?
Like,
Oh, okay.
no,
So
go ahead. Yeah.
my cancer at that point was stage 3. I found the lump in August. My grandmother and my aunt died in September. I was stuck in Maryland all of September, the majority of October. I did not have a biopsy until the end of October. I was formally diagnosed in November. I had no health insurance. I paid everybody out of pocket for everything I needed. All my mammograms, my biopsies, my ultrasounds, my MRIs, my CT scans, I paid for that. I found out, well, when it was looking like we were headed down that way, before I got the formal diagnosis, because remember, I don't have medical insurance, so nobody can read my paperwork but me. It's coming to me. It came to me. I
Mm.
gave it to my nurse friend that's a nurse practitioner. I said, what does it say? She said, you got stage 0 breast cancer in your right breast. All right, cool. Now I'm Googling who are my doctors going to be because I don't have a care team. I am
Gotcha.
creating everybody as I go. I'm
Yeah.
putting them together.
Yeah.
By the time I could get everybody on the same schedule to understand what the process was going to be, it wasn't until March. Black breast cancer runs so different that between November and March, I'm now stage 3. Had I not and waited until
Mm.
April and May,
Yeah.
I would have been stage 4. So
Mm.
all of these things are happening, and I'm just walking. And I remember because I knew it was breast cancer. I knew it,
Mhm.
but I did not no until the 10th of November. So now here comes the waterworks. Now you're just driving and praying, God, what
Mhm.
is going on? So here comes Frida. Frida's my mom. She's a
Mhm.
deaconess. And so um, when my cancer stage advanced, because originally the goal was to do a lumpectomy, my plastic surgeon, my excuse me, surgical oncologist is a very extremely smart man. He's also the president of the American Cancer Society for
Mhm.
Florida. He
Wow,
said,
okay.
Rhonda, you need to do a double mastectomy. I was like, why? I mean, it's 0. No, no, no. Rhonda, you're black. You need to do a double mastectomy. So I was like, I'm going to think about it. So while I'm thinking, one of my final MRIs showed that my one spot was then 3. So if I did a lumpectomy, I was going to have a really strange breast anyway. It just made more sense to do a double mastectomy. But even with it, with the different spots, I'm not thinking, oh my God, this is, I never thought that. So now
Right.
we're going into the surgery, have it wake up. They're like, we think your lymph nodes are fine. I had 0.5 millimeters of breast cancer in one lymph node. So that changes everything. So instead of it just being a lumpectomy or a double mastectomy and some type of hormone suppressant for the next 5 years, now we're talking chemo. Now I'm losing my
Mm.
mind. So I was like, "Man, listen, I really think I should just take all my money and go die in Turks and Caicos. I love it there. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's gonna be great." She was like, "The devil is a liar." Okay, so
Right.
you get yourself together.
Mother
You're gonna
Deacon
fight.
is coming. Yeah, she coming. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So she getting me together. She praying real hard. My whole family praying. Whole church praying. I go to New
Jesus.
Thomas
Right.
Baptist Church. It's a great church. If you don't have one, come on. But
Jesus.
everyone's praying, 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 and I start chemo, and it was the absolute worst thing ever. Um, there's a chemo type called the Red Devil, and I don't.
Mm.
The chemo is bad, and then the after shot recovery is bad. When you go through
Mm.
chemotherapy, the idea of it, especially if you are for triple negative people and for hormone positive people, you are going to be more than likely given the Red Devil. It
Mm.
goes through and wipes out all of your positive and negative cells. So you are depleted. And then the next day, they're going to give you a recovery shot to boost the reproduction of good blood cells again. The problem is, in doing that, it's so taxing on your body. It's taxing on your heart. It's taxing
Mhm.
on your bones. You're in
Mm.
extreme pain. I was throwing up, pooping, and peeing at the same time. I was crawling around. I couldn't walk. I got adult thrush. I had terrible indigestion that was causing projectile vomiting. I could not stop throwing up to the point that they put me on a drug for psychotic, like a psychotic drug to tell my brain
Mhm.
to not throw up. It was
Mm.
bad. Chemo was horrible. And my mom, just to get back to the answer to your question, my
No.
mom kept saying, Rhonda, you have to go through all parts of this for somebody else. This is not about you. This is not about you. But it's no way that you can. And at the time, I'm not even thinking because my page is
Um,
just a page. I'm not thinking of the big picture. She kept saying, it's not, this is not about you. You have to experience it all so that when you go and help others, you know what you're talking about. You're going to have that on the job training that only you can get by being there. So that is really what kind of helped me reframe
mm.
what was happening to me because I never felt like God attacked me. You know, I don't, it was never a why me moment. It
Yeah.
was more of a, okay, well, what you going to do with this? What are
What
we
we doing?
pivoting to? Yeah. What are we doing? And so this is what we're doing. We're doing Tata Tuesdays.
Wow. So you're going through this and see, this is why it's also important to surround yourself with the right individuals. And this, your mom,
Hmm.
the deaconess, is
Hmm.
there to speak the life and to help you shift your mindset because, of course, all of the things that you just educated us on and brought to light that, hey, I'm going through this, but even while I'm in it, I have this moment where,
Can I say two things about what you're saying, where you're going? First thing would be, if you've ever done the red devil, it's the most isolated feeling you'll ever have in your life. Because now you do feel like you're dying. Cancer don't hurt. Cancer itself does not hurt. That treatment will take you up out of here. And so because you feel so close to death, I know I shut everybody down. I had a buku of friends, especially at the time I was in Miami. So I had family in Miami that wanted to
mm,
show up for me. I would not allow it. I would not allow
mm,
it. I didn't want anyone around me except my mother and the guy I was dealing with at the time. I just felt like
mm,
I was closing in because if this was what the final thing was going to be, then I needed to be here. I needed my focus to be different. Then the other side of that, why I was so insistent on starting the network was
mm,
because I lost the communication with my best friends. I really
mm,
needed communication with my best friends. We
mm,
speak a language that nobody else that's never been through this will understand. We can
mm,
look at each other and just say, girl, or just start crying and nobody freaks out about it because we know what kind of day you've had.
mm,
Um, we know about the silent struggles. We know about the emotional struggles. When women come into the group, I ask them, what's your self-esteem on a scale of 1 to 10? Because we're about to take a ride that you may not be ready for.
mm,
Um, it's such a life-changing diagnosis. And if nothing else, even when you feel like it's clear and you can
mhm,
breathe, in the
mhm,
back of your mind, you know that this could happen to you again. And
mm,
that is the trauma that constantly goes on. So when it comes to like, now I want to date again. Now I want to get married. Now I want to have kids. You want to do all of these things and you do it going in knowing this is a high risk situation for me. And even if I enjoy it in the moment, it may not last as long as someone else.
mhm.
That's why we have breast friends.
So the breast friends, when I saw the hashtag breast friends, I'm like, wow, this, it's so many things that you've cultivated and really brought together here. With what you just said, what has been the most eye-opening thing? Because you just enlightened us so much about the journey. And I have cousins. I have a cousin who has went through it, and just in a big sister from high school, um, and there's so many other people around me. But like you said, there is a language that you have that you could just say one word and you like that fill in the rest. But what has, with you creating this community, been the most, like, I guess, the most educational thing, or just any, like, the most eye-opening piece that you know that, wow, if I didn't do this, this wouldn't have happened? Or, like
You mean as far as my diagnosis? What do you mean?
the value taken away from those other sisters who've been a part of that community.
So, so as a result of all of this, I have been addicted to science. Now you're talking about a girl that hated science, but now I just want to know
Mhm,
everything about it. So I
mhm,
went to a course called Project Lead. It's a really distinguished um, cohort that pairs molecular scientists with advocates from
mhm,
around the world. So now I
mhm,
have breast friends globally,
mhm,
where we are really trying to understand more about what happened to our bodies and then regurgitate the information in a way that the regular woman could understand.
I understand it.
I've since produced videos between me and AI that help women go into their body and understand how breast cancer even forms.
Mm,
Um, I think th- the level of science I have in my mind now, and how addicted I am to it, and then the fact that we do take women to different states to learn the science. So the largest breast cancer symposium is in San Antonio every year. Doctors from around the world,
Mhm.
pharmacists from around the world,
Mhm.
scientists from around the world all go to this place. This year,
Mhm.
I'm taking 10 breast friends. I want them to become super advocates in their cities so that they can
Mhm.
start being little Rondas and educating as we go. It's important that you know the science and not just the diagnosis. It's important that
Mhm.
when you look at me and you talk to me, that you know that I'm estrogen positive, that I did 16 rounds of chemo, and that I denied radiation. It's important for you. And it's important for you, if you were my breast friend, to know that so that when you're in other rooms and people start talking about science and medicine and what they're taking, you can say, okay, no, got it, heard. And in some other room, go and repeat the same thing, because that's the only way. The mortality rate amongst Black women is high, as it relates to breast cancer,
Mhm.
primarily because there's automatically a distrust in our community between us and doctors anyway. We don't trust it. If the doctor says take this, I don't go holistic. You can do whatever you want, but I want people to understand the why. Why did they tell you to take this? What
Mhm.
does this drug do? What is it supposed to prevent? And then make your decision. Don't just make it off of emotion. Make it off of fact.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
it's those things that are really important to me right now because I don't think we get enough of that. We don't get enough people explaining to us our diagnosis. We don't get enough people explaining to us our side effects. We don't get enough people explaining to us what happened. How did this happen? And it's
Mhm.
literally a break in your DNA. If your DNA
Wow.
is aligned, GCAT, and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden it's AGT, that's a break. And typically your
Mhm.
immune system is already designed to kill those breaks. With cancer,
Mhm.
it just is not able to kill it, and so it goes
Wow.
and it duplicates all over your body, and that's how your stage changes. Your grade is determined by the aggression of your cancer. Like that
Yeah.
stuff is important to me. And it's important to me that the girls who walk around in these Tata Tuesdays jackets
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
that knowledge. Because if they get stopped on the street by somebody that's newly diagnosed, they have to talk to them with compassion, but with fact. I need those
Mhm.
girls to take their diagnosis seriously.
Mhm.
I did a walk a few weeks ago. It's called
Mhm.
Revolt. It's a direct
Mhm.
competitor to Susan Coleman because we don't fuck with her.
Mhm.
Is she the money that they raise? They've been researching breast cancer for 40 years. How long did they research HIV? Because they have got a preventative for HIV. They got some cures out here. What are we doing with breast cancer and
What
why
we
is it so
doing?
slow? So anyway,
Mm.
with the money that they collect, they do research.
Mhm.
We have women that die of other things in the meantime. We have a girl in
Mm.
our group who went from stage 1 to 4 in 5 months. In that
Wow.
short time, she's lost all the jobs that she was working. She was approved for disability. Of course, on disability, you can only work for so much. But get this, even with her disability approval, it's a 5 month waiting period. Since then, her rent is now 3 months late. Her car got repoed. She had to get a whole new cell phone because she can't afford a cell phone bill, and she barely has food. Is that fair? No.
Mm-mm.
So those are the
Mm-mm.
things that we focused on in our nonprofit. I need you to get
Mhm.
addicted to the science to help other people on the advocacy side. But we also
Yeah.
need to identify how we help people and who we're helping and what we're helping them with. Because we have real life that still happens. Breast cancer doesn't come at a good time. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, are you free today? No. It comes in the middle of divorce. It comes in the middle of paying tuition. It comes when your job is on this last leg and you don't have any time to take off and your boss does not like you that much, so they won't let you go to treatment. It comes at all these crazy ass times. It can come.
Mhm.
So many women get breast cancer or diagnosed when they're pregnant because your hormones are all over the place and they're so increased. And if you're hormone positive, you are constantly pushing estrogen throughout your body. And if your breast cancer is estrogen, now you're metastatic and you got a newborn. Talk to me about that. You know what I mean? That's my problem.
Wow.
And I don't really mean to vent to you like this, but
No,
during
this is, yeah.
during the breast cancer season, so many people want to give you a makeover. I don't want cancer anymore. Do that. Fix that.
Mm.
That's my issue. That's how I see it. So the sisterhood that I create, these are conscious women. We're not moved that much by the pink. We like to wear pink. We like to show up in uniform. But we understand that breast cancer isn't pretty and it's not pink.
Mm.
You could not even, you don't understand the gravity of the situation that you find yourself in when you're diagnosed, and now how you have to become a doctor for yourself but an empath for the people that care about you, because you have to
Mm.
calm them down often just so that you can get through. So it's a lot. It's a heavy diagnosis, and it's different than other
Mhm.
cancer types in that it's
Yeah.
mysterious. So the drugs that you take for breast cancer may keep it sleep for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But then that same breast cancer could wake up, you 80 years old, and when they do the pathology, it's the exact same breast cancer you had 30 years ago. It's complicated. Sorry.
Wow. No, no, first of all, no apology. No apology, but a thank you. A thank you for you taking the time out to, first of all, in the midst of it for yourself and going through for yourself. And I know you said it's therapeutic, but being an advocate of it while you are a patient, right? Was a and the thing about it, you said this before, but like you said, it can come at any time. You might say, people might say, you ring the bell, but people don't know it's a life beyond the bell and all these
Well,
other stages, right? And it could go
don't get me
ahead.
started with this bell. And
That's
you know,
what.
a lot of hospitals don't have the bell anymore because it is for your people who have supported you. It's the end. It's the finish line.
But
For the woman that's going through it, it's just the beginning. Most of us are on drugs for the next 5 or 10 years, if not longer. And
mm,
then let's be clear: a woman can do all the things and
mhm,
still experience a reoccurrence. It's a crazy disease.
yeah, yeah. And so what I'm hearing is, first of all, the passion, but the advocacy, the level of knowledge and education and going deeper than the surface. People, look at the pink and all these other things. But thank you for taking
Oh,
that time and creating this space and, and movement beyond your healing, but taking that time to go not only locally but beyond that to truly fight for and push and advocate for in this space that's definitely needed, and for us to understand
hmm
what's going on in our bodies. Like you
hmm
said, women of color, we look, from zero to, you can start at zero in months and days. It's developing. But if we don't know, and the other piece of this is I'm sure is, having that authority. Just be you stood your ground, right? With your doctors, not just taking what they're saying, but challenging what's being said and going deeper. And that takes a lot. And I just want to say thank you for doing this amazing work, and carrying that torch, because I know that it's changing lives, that you don't even see right now all yourself. um you're doing other things as well, in addition to what you shared. There are other events and other things that you're hosting, to push this message and call for us to be more educated in this area. Can you share more about other things that you're doing with this movement of Tata Tuesdays, and all the other things that you are, the wonderful work that you're doing?
Sure. So we have a breast friend certification program, which will be a CEU that I'm developing for social workers, hospitals, and whoever else needs to learn how to talk to Black women about breast cancer. Our language has
Mhm,
to be different. We communicate a different way. Our
mhm,
cadences are naturally different. Our understanding is different, and I need
mhm,
for you to be real with us. A lot of times, right now, what we're experiencing in the medical community is softness. They're really afraid to be direct with
all
patients,
right.
and so it's causing the patient to think or to take their diagnosis lightly. So they may say, "Oh, your
Mhm,
cancer is a really low stage of coming back." They shouldn't say that. They should not tell a patient that they're cancer free. Shouldn't say that. Just different things
mm.
like that. How to
So
communicate,
educating. Mhm.
educating the physicians, the people
Yeah.
who have to
Mhm.
talk to us. Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
And then we have the advocacy portion for self, how to stand up for yourself, what it looks like.
Mhm.
You know, even from like a demographic standpoint. So if it's a black woman in her 60s, she's less likely to talk to me, and she's
Mm.
100% more likely to talk to her doctor and believe anything they say because they were raised in a
Just from
different
the
generation that
age.
doesn't challenge. We don't talk back.
Mm.
And so younger black women are all like, yeah, what do we gotta do next? Older ones, if I get them on the phone, hang up on me in like the first minute. And not in a mean way, but like a Rhonda, I don't know anything. I don't know my diagnosis. I don't know this. I don't and I'm like, okay, it's okay. You can just get the paper. I'll help you read it. Can I call you back? They get so frazzled and so emotional,
Hmm.
and they're not really willing to have that type of dialogue. So just me figuring that out, even younger women, it's a different conversation. Our youngest breast friend has been 22 years old.
Mm.
Um, oldest right now is 89. So
Yeah.
the conversations though, totally different. And just because of the age. I mean, I think we're all witnessing that even with the growth of social media, how you communicate with young people, all of this, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
different. We have to talk different. I am taking those, hopefully 10 women. Right now, I think we're at about 4 to 6. And I
Hmm.
haven't really formally announced it yet, so that's a good number.
Yeah.
To San Antonio, to
Hmm.
the SABCS Breast Cancer Summit, and there
Hmm.
they will be responsible. This is not a retreat. We had a breast friends retreat a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Relaxation, self-care,
Hmm.
ministry, all of those things.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
is a work trip for 5
Gotcha.
days,
Hmm.
responsible to going to different classes, and at the end of each day, writing me a report and sending it to me so I can continue to build out a CEU.
Hmm.
Then on this Saturday, I'm hosting the fashion show at Mondawmin. This is my third year hosting.
Okay.
It's put on by Mondawmin Mall and the oh my God, Epsilon Omega chapter, I think, of the AKAs.
Hmm.
And this year, what I asked for was a panel. I need panel discussions. I need people to
Hmm.
leave not thinking that breast cancer looks amazing because it doesn't. I wanted to
Hmm.
talk about what you lose, like how sometimes when you start, you could start your breast cancer treatments and process with a whole husband. And by the time
Hmm.
it's over, he's gone, and what that does to you and your self-esteem, you know.
Hmm.
We're going to be talking about geez, I got brain fog, I forget, but it's a lot of stuff coming up on that panel
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
needs to be discussed. We have some other activities where I'm just bringing women together, such as mixed fit. I just left the aqua a class today, just trying to
Okay.
connect with
Hmm.
as many survivors as possible. But ultimately, our message all the time is that it can happen to you. So if it had to,
Yeah.
right? If you had to have breast cancer,
Mm.
this is the absolute best time to do it. We have more medicines, more science, more AI that will work to, at least towards you maintaining a quality of life that you would not have had 20 or 30 years ago. And then
Mm.
you automatically walk into a team of breast friends that don't look anything like what they've been through. And we
Hmm.
are out here
Nothing.
living.
Yes.
Oh,
Right. Tell us a little bit about boobs and bingo.
okay, so I patented Booms and Bingo. It's a 5 rounds of
Hmm.
bingo that help women explain the breast cancer process to their friends. This brings your friends into your new vocabulary words like mastectomy, lymphedema, um,
Hmm.
your drain pouches. I mean, it ranges. I wish I would have known. I would have had some examples. But we have
Got
it's available online. I think it's on Amazon and Shopify. If not, it's on our website. But
Okay, so this is a okay.
yes, a merch. So people can
Yeah.
purchase it on Saturday for sure at Boobs and
Mhm.
Bingo, but it's
Okay.
helpful for newer people. Even if you're for a regular, it helps everyone. It's 5 rounds of things that you're going to need to know, like different definitions. It comes with these
Hmm.
cards that breaks the words down into different sentences so that you can
Hmm.
guess and try to figure it out because it's a whole new learning curve when you're diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I remember my cousin, she's definitely an advocate. Chanel, shout out to Chanel Rogers. And she was one, as you're sharing your story, it's like, yes, because she's definitely had to go in and be an advocate for herself. But even as she shared, it's like a whole lesson, like you said. And so I'm sure that this merch, so y'all go and support and on all, so and we can find all of these events on your website.
Yep, if this website is breastfriendsunite.com.
Okay, got you. So breast friends, I will drop that in later to make sure that we share. Um, you have just dropped so much knowledge on us tonight. And truly, you are an advocate, and we want to support you. I know that there are some challenges, in the work,
Mhm.
um, challenges that come. If there was an area of support, where do you see the most support right now that is needed? Um, as you are pushing to do the work and educate. Is there any particular area your organization may need the support in? You want to
So
share that with
sure. We could always use financial support. Here's why. So, like, we want to do breast friendsgiving. I don't live in lack. I've always had. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord. Even when
right?
I ain't have, I had, because I come from
Yeah,
a family that just doesn't let me hit the bottom.
yeah.
I didn't realize we were in at the retreat, and I didn't realize that I had breast friends that don't have their own home community. That look
Mm-hmm.
forward to doing stuff with us because they do consider us family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, we have to do we have to do Thanksgiving and holidays different. So we'll be doing a breast Friendsgiving. I don't know what that looks like yet, but we're going to be doing
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Okay.
then for Christmas, I'm going to pair with Lindsay with Lioness Women Roar. And we want to make like custom Christmas ornaments and stockings. And we want to do like Secret Santa type stuff for
Mm-hmm.
women's children that are going through the breast cancer experience with them because we already know, like financially, this ain't it. It is so
Yeah.
expensive to be sick. It is so expensive to be sick.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to take off the load, the weight of that. So
Yeah.
that'll be an activity that I'll be advertising soon. That if anyone wanted to financial support, we need it. We're going to reach out to
Gotcha.
all the big ones, Amazon. But this is the thing, right? Sometimes God gives me a lot of notice. Most of the time, He doesn't. So I
Mm-hmm.
could just be sitting still and get a download and be like, okay, this is what we're doing this time. And it's going to happen. It just may not
Mm-hmm.
be as grand as it would have been if
Mm-hmm.
Amazon gave me a check 6 months ago.
Yep.
But that's something that we're doing. And then we still want to take the women. When we take women away,
Yeah.
the trips are cheap,
Mm-hmm.
very, very cheap because we're not trying to be a burden on them, but we want them to
Mm-hmm.
have the experience. So if ever
Right.
anyone wanted to donate to that, we're open to it. We want to take the women. We want to provide round trip transportation, not the flights, but like transportation while they're there. All of
Mm-hmm.
their meals are always included on these trips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we keep our bottom or their bottom line really low. It's no profit.
Got you. So your organization covers the
Mhm.
majority of everything when they're sending. Awesome.
Always,
Got you. Got you.
always.
So if someone wants to give and support, where do they do it?
You can go to our website. There's a donate button.
Okay.
We're located on Givelify, and I think you can also, yeah, Givelify. Go through Givelify if you can, or PayPal. Whatever, we're everywhere.
Got you. And if you have any questions, you can, of course, contact us and we'll make sure that you get connected. Wow. It has been a pleasure having you tonight. I want you to um take a moment if you've already shared so much.
Mhm.
Um, but if there was a message that needed to go out, we know that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, amongst other awarenesses. But as you've talked about breast cancer awareness, it goes beyond this month. If there was a message for someone who's either navigating it or a family member who is helping to support, what would you leave as a woman who's leading in your position? Is there any last words that you would leave to that woman who's going through, and perhaps someone who's supporting someone who is going through?
I want to give you two things. The first will be for people who aren't going through it all. That
Hmm.
message will be, it can happen to you. And
Yeah.
don't take good health for granted. I was never
Hmm.
sick and then I was. So it can happen to you. And for the person supporting or the person going through now, connect with Tata Tuesdays. There is something here for you too. Most people that come, they come a little empty. By the time they leave, they're full. It's almost like
Mm.
plugging into, and I used to say this all the time, plug into me, plug into me. I got all this energy. God gave it to me. Plug into me. Come get what you need. Come get the knowledge that you need. Come get the protection and the peace that you need because it does exist in this community.
Mm. Wow. Everybody, you heard it from Lead Her herself, Miss Rhonda Brunson. There are individuals who are watching tonight, and um, they are lighting up the chat. Lisa, I see you out there. They said this is how you educate. That's right. People don't really understand. So many notes here and love being shared at in the chat, but they are thanking you for what you're doing
Well,
and
can I tell
how
you a few
you
more things
are
that we are
leading.
doing though? I'm
Please
sorry.
do.
Okay, so I have presented legislation to Malcolm Ruff and to Carl Jackson. My
Okay.
goal is to have blanket legislation for women diagnosed with breast cancer at any stage to
Mm-hmm.
experience financial grace. No late markers on their credit report, no eviction notices, no repossessions because it's not
Hmm.
fair. We
Yeah.
need grace. You need a minute. If a girl gets diagnosed with breast cancer, it can change her whole world, depending upon who she is. Some women who have seen their parent or their mother go through breast cancer, their grandmother,
Hmm.
their surgical decisions, how they interpret that information, how they ingest it, process it, and put it back out, that could knock them off their feet. We need a
Hmm.
minute. I went from
Yeah.
being very wealthy to not, all because I was
Mm.
doing a lot of pain for
Yeah.
the treatment and the care of myself. So we need a minute on that. And we're also going to be doing our own first research study next
Hmm.
year. And what I want to prove is that Black women are exposed to more medical misinformation through social media than any other
Mm.
type. So when it
Wow.
comes to like the commercials about what the benefits of the medicine are, we don't really get that. We get more Dr. Sebi information. Use this bee pollen,
Mm.
eat this. Like it's not consistent. And so I think that that would also play a part in the medical distrust that causes Black women to not take their medicine. So then we can't question why Black women die at a higher rate. We're constantly being fed bullshit about what the medicine is and what it does. So
Hmm.
those are the two big things
Mm.
that we're doing. I'm taking women to Congress with me. We're going to go in April. We're going to talk about our legislation and what we want to do. So we not a movement. God don't give me foo dreams. He don't talk to me like that.
No.
Everything is big. Everything is direct. I can already see it, and we got this.
Yes. Listen, this is the year that I know I decreed and declared big,
Woo.
bold power moves. And
Mhm.
this woman who is right here, Rhonda Brunson, you are truly graced for the assignment. And I thank God for you
Thank you.
leading her, leading the ladies, leading the sisters who who need that push, right? And thank you so much for saying yes and answering the call, even as you're going through yourself. And we know that whatever God He has put before us, He gives all the resources and He provides the way, opens the doors, makes the connections, and all of those things. We just have to show up and be his oracle in the earth. So I thank God that I know that you are graced for the work that he's placed in your hand. So you all hear that legislation. We're here to impact and to change even the legislation. And yes, those women need that grace. It's so many things, right, that can go into that. And so wow. This conversation tonight is truly necessary and needed. And we know that there's so many organizations out there, but we definitely want to support and we want to push Tata Tuesdays, everything else. This is a movement, and this train is definitely moving. And so we are grateful because the ladies need this. They're saying facts. And you are definitely graced for this. So thank you so much. If someone wants to get connected, I want you to take a moment and repeat how they can connect with any of the things that you're doing, Tata Tuesdays, and any of the other movements that you've shared with us tonight.
The best way to connect with us, the fastest way, is Instagram at Tata Tuesdays, TATATUESDAYS. We'll reach you there. You follow me, I will always follow you back. And jump in my DM and just say, hey, I was listening tonight. I got you. We have a private group chat for our breast friends that do want to stay connected and do want to know everything we're doing. So we drop stuff there daily. We check on one another. We let each other vent. to get it out. Is safe space. So we
Yeah.
create additional safe spaces on the website, Breast Friends Unite. It's a lot of different things you can do on there. One of them is to be paired with a breast friend. One thing is to stay in the know. And then it's three different things. I got brain fog. You got chemo brain. It's a real thing. So when you go on the site,
Yeah.
page
Yeah.
3 about
Mhm.
talks about how you can stay connected with us. But ultimately, Tata Tuesdays. And if you're newly diagnosed, we do have Breast Friends 911. We want to know. We want to jump all in your business because there's some things that as soon as you diagnose, when the doctor goes over it, you're not going to remember. So if you're 30 years old and you don't have any kids and they're offering you chemo, we need to talk. We got to talk about your eggs. What are you going to do with them? So let us jump in
Mm.
your business if you're a newly diagnosed person, so we can make sure that you're getting the standard of care that you deserve.
Wow. So listen, y'all, Tata Tuesdays is well beyond Tuesdays. So let's be clear, okay? We're doing the work. They're doing the work. I'm talking about we're doing the work every day of the week and beyond. So get connected. Watch the replay. Share. Sharing is caring. We want to get connected and we want to support. Again, Rhonda, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule tonight to share with us first of all, again, your passion for the work, your purpose in the work that's being done, and you're clearly grace for the assignment and the work that God has placed in your hands. So thank you for answering the call, and thank you for being a sister who is making a power move. God bless you. We gotta stay connected.
Yes.
And blessings to you in everything. And look forward to continuing to be connected in the work that you're doing. God bless you. Y'all, this
Thank
has
you
been
so much.
another Sister to Sister Talk Power Move. Take care, take charge, and God bless you. Have a great
See
night.
you later, breast friends.
Bye-bye.